Welcome back to OVC Media Days presented by CenterPoint Energy. Head basketball coach Kevin McMillan at UT Martin joins us. Coach, welcome to this virtual media day.
Well, I'm glad that we're having a media day, period, to be honest with you. I didn't know that we would, but thank you.
Well, we're going to be here all day talking to everybody and look forward to talking to you. Let's talk about how last season ended. It seems like you've had a string of seasons back to back where injuries have kind of gotten you the latter half of the season. And that was certainly the case last season in Evansville.
Yeah, I thought that our team did a really good job of coming back from Kiana tore ACL in the first minute of the OVC tournament. And she was kind of the I don't want to say the heart and soul because that's Maddie Waldrop, but she became kind of the point guard leader for us that got everybody in sync and was playing really, really well. So I was impressed that we came back and were able to beat Murray and then beat EIU without her. And then for about 35 minutes against SEMO, the game was, a 2-possession game and we had a chance, but with all of the injuries we had last year, I mean, that kind of was the one final straw that we couldn't overcome. But I was proud of our kids for the way they handled all of them.
So you leave Evansville and then come back, have a chance to play somewhere else, maybe in another tournament, and then all that goes by the wayside. So kind of take us from March 10th or so on to where we are today. What's been going on with your program?
Well, when we got back, we started trying to develop a point guard for the postseason, and we had a couple of kids that were working really hard for 4 or 5 days. They really pushed, and then of course you get the call and the world shuts down, and then so for the next 3 to 4 months, I don't know that we did hardly anything. The rest of the month of March, April, May. And then June, we started kind of telling them to get their bodies and minds back going again a little bit, but we didn't do a lot because, again, all those injuries, it was a great time for us because it gave us a chance to heal or get further down the road with our healing. And then, we brought them together for only a week during the summer just to see them and make sure everything was okay for school this fall. So we didn't have them much then. And then we've gotten back here in August and started up. In a very different world. And then once the season, quote, started, which was about 6 weeks ago, we've only had our team 2 weeks. And with the injuries, we only have 9 if everybody's here. And so we've got 2 that are quarantined right now, which pushes us down to 7. So it's been really hard. We hadn't played 5-on-5 yet. So I think for us, it's going to be, and I wish it wasn't, given that we got most everybody's back. It is going to take us a while to get going because we hadn't been able to work any 5-on-5 situations.
Are you able to schedule any pre-conference games, or are you going to go straight to that 20-game conference schedule?
We have 5 games right now, 1 MTE, and we could get 1 more game if it fit. And I've talked to a couple of my coaching friends that have basically said if we get near the end of the season and need games, that we'll just call each other and go play. But we're going to need those 5 games to get ready for the conference, and then hopefully we'll be able to handle it like we would in a quote normal season.
20-game season is not normal for this conference. Getting to that post-COVID, kind of give me your thoughts on that. You're going to play everybody round robin. It's going to be rough and tumble.
Well, I don't understand why you wouldn't play 22. It makes to me total sense. If we're worried about games, we're worried about a tiebreaker, we're worried about who to send. To me, it makes perfect sense to play 22. So I wish we had done 22. We did 20, so we'll play 20. But the 2 teams that you don't play, I don't see how that's not going to create headaches at the end, especially given all the games that we may not play. But it is what it is, and there's going to be teams that are happy at the end of the year. There's going to be teams that be upset, and that's why I wish for one season we probably took everybody to the tournament, because I just don't think – I think there's going to be teams that aren't taken care of at the end of the season for what they try to do during the season.
This conference continues to get better, and you have two of the outstanding players. You've already mentioned one in Maddie Waldrop, and then you have the preseason player of the year, Chelsea Perry. Let's start with Maddie first. You just characterized her as a heart and soul of your team, and no doubt her grit and determination has been a big part of that.
Well, the kid has had ACL, back injuries. She has fought through all kinds of stuff. She gets just beat up night in and night out, and she just keeps bringing it and keeps bringing it and keeps bringing it. And she's the one that gets our team focused and ready to play every game. And she's a definition of a blue collar worker. She looks around in a specific game and says, "What do we need?" Well, we need rebounds. Okay, well, she goes and gets 23 rebounds. Okay, we need somebody to score this game. She goes and gets 26 points. She's led us in assists, rebounds, steals, you name it, scoring. But more than anything is she's the ultimate team player. And I hope one day that I can be as good as Maddie Waldrop in that respect.
Chelsea Perry has been a name, obviously, that's rolling off the lips of a lot of coaches that have to oppose you this season. Preseason all-conference, preseason player of the year. Almost at this point, you're running out of adjectives for Chelsea, so I'm counting on you to bring me a few new ones.
Well, Chelsea has really matured in 4 years and has developed her game every year and gotten better. She's done the same thing this year. And I'm just proud of how hard the kid has worked and how, and what she wants to do with her life and her career. Her work ethic is unbelievable. And she's battled some injuries, hip more than anything. And she, like Maddie, just gets beat up. Those two ought to be shooting 10, 15 free throws every night. And they just keep bringing it every day. I think the future is really bright for Chelsea, and I think that she is very deserving of a career in this game that if she chooses so.
Let's talk a little bit about where we go from here. It's early, or the first part of November still, getting ready for conference play. We're going to play conference games here soon. You got a preseason schedule. What does the rest of this schedule look like for you before you hit the floor for real?
Gosh, it's so hard because we can't scrimmage. We can't play 5-on-5. So we're basically right now trying to get our kids better individually, and we are trying to make sure they stay healthy. We very rarely practice 3 days in a row because we're just trying to keep them healthy. So I think our focus right now is we're looking at the long run, and we're saying, okay, if we can keep getting our kids better and better and better and better, then in the long run, when everybody gets back healthy, we get enough kids to work, we get some of this season under our belt, we feel like we can be a factor, but it's going to be a while, and we just got to be patient. And I think it's that way with the whole, with the virus and with everything. Just be patient and just keep doing what you can. Control what you can control is probably the biggest thing we talk about.
And I alluded to it earlier, and I think you did too, Kevin. This conference just continues to get better and better year over year. Kind of size it up for us, given the pandemic, the inability kind of to see teams. How important is maybe the preseason that each team will play or can play be important to help you scout and prepare for this conference season?
Well, with as crazy as it could be, this non-conference can end up being really huge, and any conference games you can get in. The conference, you're exactly right. It's gotten better and better and better, but it's also we've stayed kind of normal to ourselves. There's going to be one or two teams that find their way, maybe three that find their way to the top. There's going to be a huge log jam in the middle, maybe from anywhere from 3 to 4 down to 9 or 10, and then there's usually one or two that are behind that. That stayed the same, but what's gotten better, and you're exactly right, is instead of us being an RPI 30, we've moved ourselves up to 28, we've moved ourselves up to 25, we've moved ourselves up to 23, 20. So we've been able to move up in the league, and what that means is that our entire league is getting better, which means night in and night out, you got to play better, which as everybody's gotten better, the league's gotten better. And I hope that we can take those next steps as a league to get even better.
Wishing you the very best this season, Coach. Great to see you again, and we'll see you along the way.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.